Hello and welcome to another Pretty Good Gaming podcast, episode number 18 this time. It's your boy, Jake Kulkowski, and I'm joined by Liam McKelvey.
Hello.
Mike Williams.
How's it going?
And Gareth Evans.
How's it going?
So for today's podcast, boys, it's a little bit slower than the last time I was hosting, which we did E3. We're going to be talking about two major topics.
Yeah.
One is the Nintendo release of the SNES Mini and the Steam Summer Sale. And have no fear if you aren't exactly a PC gamer, because a lot of these games that we're covering are on general sales around, you know, your favourite consoles and things like that. I've had a look and there's a sale pretty much on everywhere at the moment. So we'll be going into that in a little bit more detail in a few minutes. We'll also be answering your questions, and we'll give you a little quick recap of the competition that we're running regarding EGX, which is a gaming convention you should have heard of. Why don't we just jump in straight away to the first topic? And let's talk about the SNES Mini, or the SNES Mini.
No.
You said it right the first time, dude.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
correct
trying to be
yourself.
all-encompassing. If you're from Japan, it's the Famicom Mini. So for those who don't know,
They're not from Japan.
it's the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And for a lot of people, this is even more anticipated than the NES Mini.
Oh, yeah.
NES. So the quick, brief background is Nintendo are releasing a mini version of the beloved console on the 29th of September. And the console has been priced at $79 or 79 quid here in the UK. So, as I just alluded to, it's not the first time Nintendo have done this. They released the NES Mini last year, November the 10th. And can you guys remember that and what followed?
Yeah, I mean,
they
kicked up a storm, like, just with their classic tactic of not making enough of them, and then that kind of creates this like rush to buy them, and then they sell out of stock, and that's great for them, I guess, because they'll definitely use up all their stock. But then there's so many sales that they're missing out on, because all these people want it and then they can't get it. And that kind of thing is basically happened again, because they announced it last night and it sold out last night. Like, from what I can tell, in the UK at least, anyways.
Well, yeah, Liam,
your best bet's a waiting list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a look on Amazon, Game, and Smith's toy stores. All of them sold out of stock in like 10 minutes.
Smith's toy stores.
Yeah,
It's
even
diving deep.
It's been about 12 hours since the announcement at the time of recording. And like Mike just said then, it seems that Nintendo do this a lot. It even happened with the Switch. And I think half of it might just be so on paper they can say, every console we've released is sold out in the first week. It looks great on paper, but a lot of people miss out, and it causes a lot of problems. So why don't we talk a bit about the Nintendo Entertainment System from last year? It came out a month before Christmas.
Yeah.
Guys, you've got kids. Did any of your girls want one interested? Were you looking to buy one for yourself or anybody? Because
personally, no, I wasn't. I don't know. It's like there's so many cheap games these days, and like both my girls have got PCs and tablets, so like, you throw them in front of a tablet and it's just as good. You get loads of free games on that. No, I wasn't interested because of the whole, because of this reason, because I knew that I'd have to scrimp and, you know, try and find some from wherever avenue that I can find one. I might even have to overpay for it on eBay or something like that.
Exactly.
I wasn't interested in that at all. I'd rather just download a free app on the tablets, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's very much a nostalgia buy as well. So it doesn't. You can get these games on. You know, you can get them running on PC. Like, they're just ROMs basically. The ones that are included in there, they're just like official ROMs, I guess. So, but it just looks nice, and it's got like, you know, it's a nostalgia buy completely. It's got the right packaging. It reminds you of the 90s very much. So it makes you feel like you're. That's what they're aiming for. It makes you feel like you're buying something from the 90s, right? And that's the key selling point. But it's something that maybe it's got an inflated price at 80 quid. You know, it was very reasonable. It was a very, you know, I think that's kind of fair, I guess, because it's a balance between trying to stop people you know, like buying them up and
scalping them,
shoving them on eBay.
I saw a Nintendo Entertainment System last year because I was looking to get one for my little sister. 600 quid with active bidders on eBay.
It's
one day after it was announced, and people, the person that bought it from the official outlets or whatever wouldn't have even received it at this point, and they were already. So
you'll get mine.
It's a calculated decision, and it happens a lot in other industries, doesn't it? Gigs and stuff. But it's
like Nintendo promote that kind of thing. It's like because of the way that they release it. Fuck them for doing it. Just fuck you. Like, just release some more. Just make some more. What the fuck are they doing?
Distribution seems to be. an intentional issue that Nintendo caused a lot. Like we're saying, how with the Switch, it happened with, didn't it? And they seem to relish in it, don't they?
Do you think it's because they've got the old business mindset?
I think that,
and they want to artificially create a high demand.
They're generally kind of like protectionist anyway, so they want to look after their like IPs and stuff. I think it's the same with stock. Like they don't want to put themselves on a limb. Like maybe people won't buy this, so we'll make this much and see how that goes, and maybe we'll make some more down the line. They're very like careful. For people who are so pioneering in other ways, like coming up with the trying to push gaming in certain directions, they're incredibly like protectionist and reserved when it comes to like just selling shit and getting stuff into people's hands. They're very careful, too careful.
I think it's they're tapping into that like human mindset, isn't it? If you can't get hold of something, that increases your desire, and it's that primal instinct, like, oh, I can't really get one, I want it even more.
Yeah.
So
I find it quite hypocritical of Nintendo, considering they're supposed to be the family company with the games for everybody. But then when it comes to getting one of their consoles, especially in the first month or two, it's a very exclusive club, isn't it? It's who can afford it, who's staying up till early hours in the morning buying them and stuff like that. And for a company that tries to be so, we have all. All bases covered.
XCOM is for everyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's a sort of drama that's already surrounding it, and of course, like we were saying, there's going to be people scrambling to get it, like that Arnie film when he tries to get his kid that action figure. I reckon that all Nintendo people are just sat there like Mr. Burns watching YouTube, going, "Excellent,
this is good business. Over our console. Is good business. We need this. We need to create this."
So, talking of stuck in the 90s, Nintendo's console, the SNES, was for me one of the most important consoles. Relevant to me because the NES I had and played, but I was very, very young, so a lot of my memories of it kind of fuzzy. This is the first console I remember playing, and like I've got very vivid memories of Donkey Kong, Super Mario, Castlevania. It inspired me so much. Like I made music for a couple of years and was lucky enough to do that, and that's all from my time on the SNES. To me, this console is like the thing that made me discover I love gaming. But I'm not interested in getting this one bit.
Well, all of what you just said is true for me, right? It was my first console outright. I didn't play any game before that, and it's really appealing to me. Like just looking at the list of games you get with it, there's like a lot of classics on there. Like there's all kinds of like every game that you think that was on the SNES is on there for me anyway.
It's quite a big list.
Apart from a few things like Super Star Wars and that, but I wasn't ever expecting that to be on there. But there's everything that I would want to, if I was going to revisit the SNES. Basically got all of them on there.
That comes bundled in, right?
Yeah, they're on it. Yeah.
Right. So what's the price of it?
It's
£80.
Yeah, $79 or pounds. So it's another case of Nintendo currency
Brexit
fail. Or the political climate, whatever.
Yeah. So I've got a question, sorry.
Of course.
With the NES Classic, the original one, that was so much further in the past, right? So more people will have SNES consoles who are collectors. They might have kept their SNES with the games list. So less people might be in the market to buying these. Do you think that's a factor in?
No.
If you're a collector, like maybe
I've got a SNES. I've still got my SNES.
So you're not interested in the SNES Classic? So.
Well, I'll go into that at the end because I want to ask a final question about I'll tell you the reason why I'm not going to get one.
Yeah.
And I want to pose to you whether or not that's got any weight. We're going to talk a little bit about ROMs and the whole, because to me it goes down to that. But again though, it's like you're saying, the SNES is a good 25 years old. So it's like, if you're a collector, is this the next thing to have? I think I don't have a telly that can run my SNES, because it's like you have to plug it in and stuff like that.
Is it a SCART lead? Like
it's one of the older ones, even in that. It's like the aerial port, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
And then so you need to get that.
RF aerial.
That's the RF aerial one. So that goes into a SCART lead. I need to get a converter for it or whatever. But so I don't know if that will factor into it. Liam, you are the youngest, as the youngest member of the group.
Yep.
Does this
team?
Team, gang, squad. Right, okay. So, as the youngest member of this collective of individuals, however you may call them.
Thought collective. That's the youngest member of the thought collective.
We're not a fucking poetry slam. What do you think? Is this more appealing than the NES Mini? care either way?
To me, it is. Like, obviously, I wasn't even born when the SNES came out. Sorry, SNES. Sorry.
That's right, mate. That's right.
I wasn't even born when it came out.
Yeah.
But I have an appreciation for all those games. Like, I love all like the Final Fantasy games from that era, Chrono Trigger, like Secret of Mana. Those games are fantastic, and I'm really interested in getting like a SNES Mini, just like purely as a, like, I suppose, nostalgic thing.
Yeah.
Just because I have good memories of those games because I revisit them not too long ago.
Yeah, it's an awkward bit of nostalgia. Like. You didn't play them in their original state, but you still played them when you were young, so it's like a post-nostalgia. I don't know how to describe it. It's weird, isn't it?
It's like a lot
Straight out of the Thought Collective. Post-nostalgia.
Surely it would be nostalgia if we were going to do something like that.
Dear.
That's, come on.
Like, it does appeal to me. Like, it's a good way to like revisit the past, I guess, like important moments in gaming history. It's an easy way to do it.
Yeah, I guess you could educate some people that may be willing to learn about early Nintendo games. Gaz, I'm particularly interested in your answer because it's no surprise how you feel about Nintendo now. But what were you? Did you own a SNES or was it?
Owned a SNES.
What do you think?
Played Mario Kart for days. Super Mario Kart. Yeah, it was a great system back in its day. I don't think that it wouldn't be appealing to me to play those games now. I'm not a collector. I'm not a retro gamer as such. I like modern games.
Moving forward, right?
Yeah, that's right. There are some things. I mean, I did used to play a lot of games on my old Amiga, Commodore 64. I had those platforms as well, and I prefer the games back from the Secret of Monkey Islands is one of the classics that I always think about.
Yeah.
But SNES was always like you sit around with your friends playing type of console. It wasn't something that I could sit and get my teeth into a game on that platform. I'd never sit there for hours on my own playing it. So I guess because that appeal of like the Amiga games and the Commodore 64 games, that then progressed to my love of PC gaming because it's that platform where you can sit there for hours playing on your own.
And now when it comes to playing games with your friends, the internet exists now. It
Well,
didn't back then, so it's like you can do that, and you'll have a lot more fun playing Battlegrounds than Mario Kart on the SNES. I assume, you know. One thing that stands out for me in terms of SNES games with a bang was Lilac Wars or Star Fox, as it's well known. So here's an interesting bit of information. Star Fox 2, which was never released. Yeah. It was always talked about, and it developed it, allegedly. But it never saw the light of day. Is coming out, bundled in with this. And this is half of the articles that I've read about it is excitement about Star Fox 2. It's probably not going to be it's going to be like, oh, this is a SNES game. Yeah. But they're offering a new game with an old console. Is it that 80 quid sold on now? Is that a system seller?
For some people, probably.
Nintendo have system sellers, even if they're unreleased games from the 90s. Breath of the Wild, sit down. Do you know what I mean? It seems a bit of a weird one. I'll read out some of these games. Let me know if any of these take your fancy. I've picked some popular ones. So Contra 3 is on there. I think it was called Super Alien Robot Force or something like that in the UK.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, Donkey Kong Country, which is my personal favourite. The Donkey Kong Country soundtrack's still on my phone, and when I'm walking my dog, I still listen to it. Still now, I absolutely love that to death. Earthbound is on there. Is that US though only? Because this is a big. This is the next thing.
There's different games depending what region you're in. Like Japan has some exclusive games on it. US has some exclusive games. And UK has some different games as well.
Isn't that annoying?
Seems pretty arbitrary as well.
We just
put them all on every fucking version.
We had a look at the consoles look different as well.
Jesus,
there's a US version of the SNES, and it looked ugly, doesn't it? We had to look at it earlier.
It looks horrendous.
It looks like a 5-year-old's cosplay of a RoboCop.
That's what it looked like in America.
One big purple button. That was the full console.
Yeah, no idea. We're sorry for you, US.
The European one is beautiful.
Look how handsome that round, sleek little thing was.
I don't get it. Look, what is the decision that goes through their heads is like, oh, this region won't appreciate these games as much, or this region is going to appreciate this form factor over this other form.
We need more angles, more angular.
It's like, oh yeah, Americans are more angular, so let's go. Like how is that even
they still drive
process?
Boxy cars in America. That's what it is. And then they were in the 90s. Yeah. I'm guessing, and they would have been like, oh, they like a nice rounded Ford Escort.
Make it the same shape as a Happy Meal. Yeah, it seems weird.
Totally overthinking, aren't they? Just release the games that people.
The thing is, that decision would have cost money, and it would have cost. They would have had to manufacture different versions of it.
Well, when you say research, you say some like old guy in a suit sat in his ivory tower deciding what other people are going to like.
Someone's had to go and present him with ideas, though. They've had to pay someone to research ideas.
I think he's come up with the ideas himself. That's the problem.
That was like Nintendo's whole strategy in the 90s. Like, certain games didn't come out in certain areas just because they thought they'd never sell. Like, the UK didn't actually get Chrono Trigger till like 2008 when it came out on the DS. Right. That was the first time it was ever available in this country.
It's still quite the East and West thing, Persona 5 and stuff. But yeah, you've got all the classics there. There's Donkey Kong's on Final Fantasy 3, The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, one of my...
It's actually Final Fantasy 6, that one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's just they called it free in the... Because for some, like Nintendo again, they decided Final Fantasy 2 and 3, the actual ones, weren't good enough for the US. So they put out 4 as 2 and 6 as 3.
Just to fuck everyone else up.
Yeah,
right.
And it caused like 20 years of confusion.
So by 3, we mean 6. So there's Star Fox 2, Castlevania.
Yeah.
We play that. Great Mario Kart and Super Mario World. So
wonderful.
We've also got Metroid as well, which you see in Metroid 4 coming up soon. So do you reckon that they releasing this in September rather than November this time so they can sell out and then restock for Christmas, get the buzz going?
They have already sold out, haven't they? That's the thing. For the initial wave of product that they've got, and that they've got between now and, like you said, before Christmas or something, to pump out another few 100,000 if they think they can sell that much, which I'm sure they definitely will.
They've sold out in 12 hours. Of course they're going to sell.
Yeah.
You know.
One would have thought, though, having had the experience of what happened with the NES Classic last time, they would have adapted their strategy and allowed more pre-orders.
They've changed the timings. That's what they've done. They've announced it earlier. There's more time between now and when it's actually out. And then there's more time between that and Christmas. So they're still doing the same thing, but they've kind of stretched it out, so maybe they've got more time to adapt.
So what are they
that's me being charitable.
Well,
that's me trying to...
Now,
they actually made a statement saying they're going to make significantly more units than the NES Mini. And
This is what they should do.
Yeah, and they say they're aware of the situation. But it just doesn't...
Seriously, guys, like 20 more units.
It doesn't sound...
Acknowledging an awareness of a problem is not dealing with a problem. We know about the problem. Thanks. That's it. Yeah. There's no like, oh, we're going to sort the problem out. There's none of that kind of wording in there. It's just we acknowledge there's a problem.
Yeah, so they've said we'll make more. They haven't said how much more. And they're only going to sell it between September and the end of December this year.
So basically...
And then you can't get it.
Yeah, then it's gone forever.
So from now till September, when it comes out, no one can do anything. That's it. Right? Yeah. They've all sold out now. So basically... If you want to get one, and we've been talking about this, and you feeling excited, tough shit. You're going to have to wait till like after September. And that's a weird thing to say, because with like Steam, which we'll go on to in a minute, and digital distribution, people buying games, it's weird, isn't it? Stuff like this, availability is still an issue.
It's the for me, there's nothing wrong with doing something limited edition, but just make loads of it, and don't make it hard to buy. Just make like so many of them that anyone who wants it in that window can have it because they've bought it in that time window. That's how limited edition works for me, anyway.
Yeah,
and they could if the games are the main appeal as well. What they could afterwards, they could just release that bundle of software for like £5 because that is what it's worth. You know, today.
Just put it on the Switch.
Put it on anything they want. Put it on their the Switch, like 3DS or whatever. Just let people experience those games. You know, without having to buy the whole retro box and the old unit and the old controllers and stuff. Let them play all those games in like one SNES like bundle or something.
Like a little SD card.
Anything.
Well, funny you should say that because you can do that. ROMs and emulators exist. They've existed for a while.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
we can download a SNES emulator on our phones.
But if they want to make money out of it, I'm saying.
But what I mean is, as a consumer. Why this over a ROM? Why this over getting?
Why would you?
Yeah, for £80. I mean, how big is the thing? Not that big, you know. We're talking small. Is they've changed anything? No. Star Fox 2 is the only reason this is got a point, really, isn't it?
It's the aesthetic of it.
Nostalgia, exactly.
It's having the unit itself and sticking it on there like you used to do, sticking it on next to your telly and playing it. But I'm assuming that you play your ROMs through a PC or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
So it's that aesthetic, it's that same experience as you used to have.
That's the right word. They're selling an experience, like not just and I'm not saying that is worth buying. I'm saying that's what they're trying to sell you.
No, I want to hear your thoughts. So, a quick sweep of the room, Gaz, would you buy one?
No, definitely not.
If you could buy one today, Mike, and pick it up today, you would, Liam?
Yeah, I'd buy one.
That's right. So there we go. That's the SNES Mini, all encompassed, discussed,
destroyed.
Get out of here. So that's the past. Let's go to the future, boys.
Yes.
All right, well, let's talk about Steam. It's the Steam Summer Sale right now, guys, going on from June the 22nd all the way up until July the 5th. So if you're listening to the full podcast on Patreon, then hello, here it is. It's live. And you'll probably be hearing this as an excerpt, if not. Yeah. It's arguably one of the biggest events of the PC gaming year, isn't it? It's the big one. Obviously with the winter Christmas sale as well. And it's the one, there's all the memes, all the empty wallets with dust flying out of it jokes.
Those jokes were old 2 or 3 years ago and they're still being made. Yeah. Hide your wallets, everyone, all that shit.
Exactly. But we have to admit, a lot of the times when we're answering Patreon questions in the general comment section on YouTube, and because we're a channel that talks about games, people always want to know, well, guys, what games do you like? What games would you recommend? So why don't we curate a little list?
This is it.
So here it is. So again, I just want to make this abundantly clear. If you aren't a PC gamer, though, keep an eye out because a lot of these games are mentioned aren't just PC exclusive, and they're also on sale on other platforms. For example, I don't know, games like Hitman are on sale broadly everywhere. So this might be interesting to you, or if you just want to hear games that we would recommend, full stop. So let's have a little talk. So we've decided to pick 5 games each, and we're going to run through them individually, and you'll get a nice little idea of what we'd recommend. Yeah. So
do bear in mind that if you are listening to this on the general release podcast, you've got until Monday. That's when the Steam sale goes off. So with all our recommendations, we're going to give you 20 games here, and if don't labour about making the decision. If you find,
just add them to a wish list, they'll come on sale again, won't they? And at least now this is Alice. Who needs a curator page, eh?
Shall I go first? Then?
Yeah, please.
Okay,
guys.
My first pick is Fallout New Vegas. It's currently at £2.49, and by the way, conversion for US dollars, add about 20%, and then turn it into dollars, because we'll be talking in pounds. I know I will, and that's down from £9.99. So this has got an 84% Metacritic score, 95% on Steam. Obviously, you're saving 75%. Developed by Obsidian, who were awesome. Published by Bethesda, who aren't so awesome. So it's the best, in my eyes, the best Fallout game. It's got great mod support, and I've sunk over 100 hours into this game. Released October 2010, but like I said, mods are available. It's for £2.49, over 100 hours worth of gameplay.
Wise choice, arguably the best Fallout as well.
Yeah. So. Arguably,
I would say definitely the best Fallout. So, am I going to go through all mine, or
go for one.
My next one is This War of Mine at £2.99. Down from $14.99. It's 83% on Metacritic, 95% on Steam, 80% off. So this is a indie survival 2D game, and developed and published by 11-Bit Studios. Released November 2014. I sunk over 20 hours into it. Again, another decent value proposition. And it's just a great game to play. Definitely recommend that one.
It's got a unique appeal, hasn't it? It's kind of like, I always think of it as like Fallout Shelter, but more gritty.
Yeah, it's very gritty.
I like those
games. It's a good one. My next up is going to be Mount and Blade Warband. Obviously, the sequel's in the works, should be here within the next year or so. If you haven't played the original, it's £3.74 now, down from £14.99. That's a 75% saving. 78% on Metacritic, which isn't the best, but 97% on Steam, so that's a huge difference there. Shows that the players are enjoying it more than the critics. Developed and published by Tailworlds Entertainment. Again, another indie game. Released March 2010. I sunk over 60 hours into it. So it's to sum up what I would say the game is. Action RPG strategy simulation. It's like Total War, but you're in first-person mode, and it's that For Honor action gameplay before For Honor was even a thing. Definitely recommend that if you're interested in those types of games. Right, moving on quickly. Faster Than Light is my next pick. £1.74, down from £6.99. That's a 75% saving again. So it's a 2D indie space roguelike strategy game from 2010. So it was roguelike before anyone else. It's the first roguelike game I ever played, pretty much. So 84% on Metacritic, 96% on Steam, overwhelmingly positive reviews. You can play it over and over again. I love this game. Definitely for £1.74, it's an absolute bargain.
It's got a huge following, that game, hasn't it? A cult following.
It is. It is an awesome game. For less than £2, you can't argue with that. My last choice is going to be a wild card, and this is because it's not even released yet. It's called The Long Dark. This is a survival open world, tense atmospheric game from Hinterland Studios, developed and published by them. It's now at £10.79, which sounds a lot compared to the other games, but it's down from £26.99, and it's been released in 6 or 5 weeks' time. So to get a 60% saving on the game that's been released in 5 or 6 weeks' time, it's quite good in my eyes. And I've played this over 25 hours. So in early access, you've only been able to play the sandbox mode. But they are bringing out a story mode with the release on August the 1st, which is when they're releasing the game into proper full release. And I would say, although it's a survival game and that genre is overdone to death, this is different for the fact that it's so gritty and it's so atmospheric and it's so I don't know. There's just something about it.
It looks different than the others. It's got a nice feel to it. Yeah,
and the permadeath in it. It's just very. I don't know. It's just got a different flavour than all the other survival games.
It certainly stands out, even on just face value. You look at it and you'll not think, oh, that looks like another game. So that's good. Yeah. That's a great list. Very concise, to the point.
Getting there.
No messing about. So that's pretty good and varied list. Mike.
All right.
Next up,
mine is. Kind of strategy heavy, I guess. First pick is Total War Warhammer, so that's £13.59, which is an incredible price for this game. It is the best strategy game from last year, no question. In a year with like Civ 6, XCOM 2, there was so many good strategy games last year. This was just the best one. If you're a fan of any kind of strategy whatsoever, if you're a fan of fantasy, just the genre of fantasy, if you love the Lord of the Rings movies, this is like everything that you kind of imagine playing as a kid, like just like dwarves running down a hill, fighting some orcs and stuff on such a huge scale. It looks amazing. It's a very well designed campaign, very well balanced, and you've got all these options of playstyles. Like if you're a huge Total War veteran and you didn't get into this because it's like fantasy and that's silly, well, it's like the best designed Total War game there is. It's just. Why would you not play this? So £13.59 is a very good price for it.
Very passionate.
Play it. Yeah, that's my pitch. So my next one is another fantasy game, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor for £3.19. And that's for the Game of the Year edition. So you get all the DLC and stuff. So Shadow of Mordor, there's a new one coming out this year, Shadow of War. This, if you've never experienced it and you like kind of action games, you like beating people up and chopping their heads off and stuff, it is a fantastic, brutal action game that's made special, truly special by the Nemesis system.
Yeah,
which is kind of hard to explain in a short space of time, but it's basically a way that you can control and manipulate your enemies to work against each other. You don't have to kill everyone. You can pitch them against each other. You can take over the enemies.
It's like Football Manager, but with orcs.
It's exactly that. Yeah, it's like. There's ranks in the Orcs army, and there's like sergeants and generals and stuff like that, and they've got like fantasy appropriate names, I guess. But they're characters and they're people that they remember fighting you. If they killed you, they work it into the lore. You come back to life, and they're like, hang on a minute, I killed you. How are you alive? I'll kill you again and stuff. It's that kind of it's that kind of fun character that's in it because they're Orcs and they're all Cockneys for some reason. But those characters you can control, like I said, and you can pitch them against each other. So it's just a great game, a great action game, like your Batman Arkhams and your Assassin's Creeds and stuff, but with that really nice creative gameplay system on top of it. So that's definitely worth a buy for £3.19. Half-Life 2. Or all of Half-Life actually for £3.26. I mean, how could we not include this? Arguably the best game of all time for a lot of people. I think the quote on the Steam store is the best game of all time on the actual cover image of the game. So from PC Gamer. So that's £3.26 for all of Half-Life ever. Half-Life 2, the DLC for Half-Life 2, Half-Life 1, the DLC for that, Team Fortress, the classic, and all that kind of stuff. All right, so Half-Life 2 for 69p is incredible. More than an orange juice, I believe.
Yeah.
Liam!
That was my fault.
No, I spend more. I get an orange juice drink every day at lunch, like from the local shop, and it's like £1.69.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You can get
10
a
hours
cheaper
of game.
drink and Half-Life 2.
You could buy
for the same
Half-Life 2
price.
for you and a friend for less money than Liam spends on
Than an orange juice.
It's
So,
very
okay.
true.
Right,
And
we
then
digress. Continue. Talk about
Half-Life
games.
2, otherwise, is a great game. And if you've never played it, for 69p, you know, the price of an app on your phone or something like that, it's definitely worth the money.
Yeah.
And all the individual items in there are dirt cheap as well. So Half-Life 2. XCOM 2 is another strategy game from last year, which was also incredible. That's £11.54, which is a huge discount as well. And this is such an incredible game that Nintendo and Ubisoft have said, yeah, we'll do that. Ubisoft have pitched an XCOM with Mario and
Some rabbits from Rayman.
Luigi and Rayman Rabbids, and Nintendo said, yes, you can do that with our characters. And that is such
That's what
high
you need to know,
praise.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Enough.
amazing. Nintendo is so protective of their stuff. So XCOM 2 is a fantastic strategy game. It's kind of different to Total War in that it's all turn-based, but it's similar in that you've got these two strategic layers. So you've got a base to manage. You've got you've got to defend Earth. And then it goes down into these tactical battles where you take a squad of soldiers down into like a diner or something like that in America, and then you kind of have a shootout with some aliens. It's incredible. You get attached to your soldiers in a way that you don't do in any other kind of strategy game. They develop personalities. You can customize each and every soldier in your team, and you can like rotate them in and out like a Football Manager game. And you're like, oh, he did well for me before, and they get injured, so you can't use them for a little while and stuff. It's a really, if you don't like sports but you kind of want that kind of that experience of managing a team of people, it's so great for that. And yeah, it's just a very fun game. And yeah, if Nintendo are doing it, if Ubisoft are doing it, then what more do you need to do? And finally, Dishonored, which is an incredible game which I played very late. I only played it a few months ago.
Vaguely remember you saying about.
Yeah, I might have mentioned it a few times.
Yeah.
It's Dishonored for $1.99. It is such an engrossing PC game. It is the epitome of PC design for me. It's like this is how Half-Life 2 became so successful. It just did everything well. It did storytelling really well. It felt really great to play mouse and keyboard. It's got all these great mechanics in it. It's really well designed. The world is very, it just draws you in. You want to stay in it. You want to find out stuff about it. And it's a fantastic game, but it is a fantastic PC game. If you want to sit there in front of your PC with a mouse and keyboard for $1.99 and get one of the best kind of gaming experiences, if you've never played it, probably for a good year or so, go for it. It's an incredible game for $1.99. The original Dishonored. That's my list.
Well, very good.
Passionate delivery.
Yeah. Nice. Liam, you're next.
Yeah,
You're next.
It wouldn't be Liam's list without a JRPG.
Or
so
a JRPG or two. Yeah, go on.
First off, Final Fantasy IX for $7.99,
Yeah.
50% off, and it's one of the all-time greats of JRPGs. And the PC version is really well done. If you want to go on a memorable journey with great characters, fantastic music, and really fun, engaging gameplay and combat mechanics. And if you're just looking to get into Final Fantasy in general, 9 is a great place to start.
Yeah,
it's one of my all-time favourite games.
It's the best, if you ask me.
It is one of the best.
Yeah.
The best.
The best, okay. So, next up, I have Resident Evil 4 at £5.09. Again, one of my all-time favourites.
Yeah.
Again,
Okay.
It's insanely good. It redefined how action games are made today. Without Resident Evil 4, we wouldn't have games like Gears of War
Totally.
Yeah.
or Halo and stuff like that. It completely reworked how third-person shooters work, and it's probably one of my most played games ever. I've played through it at least 30 times, I reckon.
Wow.
It's just, again, it's an all-time classic. If you need to play it, in my opinion.
You've played it 30 times, Liam. I think that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you have to say.
Next up, for great value for money, at $9.99, 75% off, got the BioShock collection.
Ah, good.
You get
Nice.
you get BioShock 1 and 2, BioShock 1 and 2 remastered, and Bioshock Infinite with all the DLC.
How much was that?
$9.99.
That's a very good deal.
So if you want to see how to do world building and storytelling in video games, this Bioshock pack is fantastic. It's like every game is memorable in its own way. You'll probably, it's just like character development. For like, a lot of people don't like the gameplay. They think the gameplay's simplistic, but I think it's a pretty good first-person shooter. And yeah, if you value storytelling in games, pick up the Bioshock collection. So next I've got Transistor as my indie pick.
Yeah,
because this game is fantastic. It's £2.24 at the minute on Steam, and for that price, just even if you don't like it, just pick it up, refund it in an hour if you don't like it. Yeah. But it's probably one of my favourite alt indie games, just because the cyberpunk setting, the music is amazing, the gameplay is like turn-based combat, but with a bit of real time in there as well. And it's one of those games where when I finished it, I immediately wanted to start playing it again. Yeah. And so I recommend that quite well.
Transistor's a nice little underrated game, I reckon.
And finally, we have Metal Gear Solid 5, The Definitive Experience at £16.74. So this is a pack of Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, and the prequel game, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. And if you want to see how to do an open world in a game, Metal Gear 5 is like probably my favourite open world in any game ever. Just because the world adapts to you. Like, if you do all your missions at night, the guards start wearing night vision goggles. If you headshot the guards a lot, they wear bulletproof helmets. Yeah. It's the adaptability and the attention to detail. And there's so much content in the game. I easily played it for about 60 hours,
Yeah, same.
That is quite funny, though. It takes soldiers getting headshotted for them to go, maybe we should start wearing helmets.
This has happened 50 times over the course of the past 3 days.
Yeah, and it's like, if you use tranquilizer darts a lot on them, they patrol in pairs to wake each other up if they get knocked out.
So clever.
Yeah, it's game design at its finest, in my opinion. And if you want an open world game with a ton of content to keep you playing for hours and hours, can't go wrong with Metal Gear 5.
And if you want to see Kojima give a big fuck you to Konami at the end of every single mission.
Every mission has a credit scene. It was like his swan
worth it
song.
For that alone, I'd say.
It was like his swan song in a way. But pick it up. It's great.
Great game. Metal Gear Solid 5 is amazing. That's a great list again. My list now, and the final list. I'll keep it brief. My first pick is The Wolf Among Us, which is a Telltale game. Some people would argue it's the best Telltale game. It's not littered with sequels or prequels or whatever. It's 75% off at the moment, £4.74. It's got an 83% score on Metacritic, and you play as Bigby Wolf, who is part-time detective, part-time wolf. But you go around basically keeping all these creatures from fairy tales in a fictional area of New York City, and you're trying to keep them, away from trouble and things like that. Story unfolds. If you're aware of what Telltale games are, as you know, they're quite narrative heavy. You've got multiple choice and things like that. Not so much gameplay heavy, but certainly a great story nonetheless, and definitely a story you should experience for cheaper than the price of a cinema ticket. My next choice is Hotline Miami, which is 75% off at the moment, £1.74, and it's 85% on Metacritic. It's a top-down sort of retro-looking shooter with a great soundtrack, cool visual aesthetic. The gameplay is fast-paced as hell. The whole game is you just storming into rooms, smashing skulls, shooting people to death, and it's got a nice little story that threads it all together, I find. Whether you are interested in story or just gameplay or just the visual aesthetic, you're covered on all three bases, really. It's got enough strength in any of them separately that you can just plow through, especially for that price.
I love how it goes from smashing skulls, shooting people to death, and it's got a nice little story as well.
Yeah, it has. I
mean, those two things go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do in this case. Orcs Must Die is my next pick. Was actually my my most played game on Steam. It's 67% off. It's £2.63, and it's got an 83% Metacritic score. In Orcs Must Die, you are a hero who has to defend humanity from orcs that swarm into various levels each time, and the game starts off like a tower defense. You set your traps up for these orcs, and then the waves start. It's like a wave tower defense game, but you control a character who can move around and kill them all individually. It's a fantastic game. I love that and the sequel, but the first one's is good enough to get started, and for £2.63, why not? Two more. I'm going to go for Baldur's Gate 2 next, the Enhanced Edition. 66% off. It's £5.09p and 95% on Metacritic. Arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Western RPG ever made. One of the ultimate bits of gaming heritage, PC gaming heritage. Super, super important game. It inspired so many of the games that you know and love. You might have already heard of it, but not picked it up. For £5.09, if you paid a penny for every hour of gameplay, you could still make your money back on this. There's easily 500 hours of gameplay in it if you do it with all different characters. So versatile, and if you like stuff like Mass Effect or Pillars of Eternity or The Witcher, you'll find clear indications that they've been inspired by this. An absolute fucking classic game. And then my last pick, and probably one of the best deals on the whole sale, I'll say, in terms of the price and the discount and stuff. One of the most underrated gems as well, in my opinion, is Brothers, should I say, A Tale of Two Sons. Now, you might recognise that name because the developer is working on that game A Way Out, which is that prison break thing. Well, this game is 90% off at the moment, and it's £1.09. £1.09 fucking pence.
That's a great price.
It's 90% on Metacritic. It's a short little experience. It's kind of one of those games where it has a lot of story without much dialogue. You play as two brothers, and you play it with a gamepad, and your left joystick, is one brother, and the right is another. And it uses a lot of clever little gameplay mechanics to tie together an exciting adventure with some really cool set pieces, some cool moments, an emotional story. It doesn't outstay its welcome. It's short. It's got a tight bit of execution. It's an excellent game, and if you could listen to me talk about any of these games, and if you were to take one recommendation, buy that one. It's fucking excellent game. And for £1.09, you can't. The shop near us doesn't even sell a bottle of Coke.
How many orange juices is that? Then?
How many orange juices?
It's not even one.
It's not even one orange juice.
Still on like 80%
Jesus
of an orange
Christ.
juice.
So that's it. Yeah, that's my pick. God, that
nice.
escalated.
Very nice.
So that's quite a varied list, may I say, boys. Yeah. We've done quite well there, haven't we?
I think it's great because it reflects all of our individual tastes in games, and there's a lot of deals in there too.
Yeah,
there's so many good deals.
And of course, we'd say this even if it wasn't true, but trust us, it is. We didn't have to try too hard to not step on each other's toes. We weren't like, true. Oh, you're going to say this, and that's what I really like, is that all of our influence and there's something for everybody there, because we've all got very different tastes.
I need to give a shout out to the Double Fine bundle as well, because I haven't played, to my knowledge, other than Broken Age, I haven't played any Double Fine games.
Right.
And they're all like 60p, like 69p. They are pence. So Psychonauts, Brutal Legends, Stacking. There's loads of them, and they're all dirt cheap. So have a look at that. These are all kind of like classics that I haven't dipped into. So I picked up a few of those myself.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on the Exit or Patreon, why not let us know what you think maybe there's something we've overlooked. Personally, if I hadn't played Brothers, I would have overlooked it for that price. But yeah, let us know what your favourite bargains, if you've got yourself a bargain, or if there's anything you've got your eye on. Because we'd like to hear. Because
let us know whose list you think was the best, because I'd like to know.
Oh, I see.
Getting competitive here.
Okay, so let's move on then. So that was our Steam summer sale discussion. Let's talk about EGX. Okay, so if you're not aware, if you're a patron of ours, you are viable to enter a competition that we are running at the moment. I'll give you some information about that now. Basically, your boys here at PGG are going to EGX, which is Britain's premier and biggest gaming convention. It's ran every year in the Birmingham NEC, and it's a couple of days long, and you can just go and play a shitload of games. They've got a couple of talks on, they've got workshops on. If you want to work in the games industry, you can learn how to do that. If you want to try your hand at journalism, you can do that. If you want to just play games and ignore people, you can do that. So we are all attending, and we have 2 super passes to give away. What's a super pass, Jake, and why does it, make me any better than anyone else going? Well, it gets you in early every single day. It's kind of like a fast track. You can get in and get early access. You can run to your favourite game, and you don't have to queue up, and you can play as many games as you want to your heart's content. And hey, it's on us. There's a couple of things we need to let you know about, though, if you are interested in entering. One thing is that we can't really get you there. You have to get there yourself, all right? So make sure, if you do enter the competition, you're based... Well, you don't have to be based in the UK. You could be from anywhere, but make sure you can get there, okay? Because we can't sort it out for you. If you are interested in this, I'll tell you how you can enter. Step 1, be a patron. Step 2, follow the link in the description or on the screen right now, and answer the question you're prompted with. And the question is this: if you were to buy the Pretty Good Gaming Guys a drink at, say, a large gaming convention that may not be held in Birmingham in September, what would you buy us? Around the drinks, maybe you'd buy us all the same drink. Maybe you'd like to tailor make an answer for each of us individually. Maybe you'd like to make a joke about Liam being underage. That seems to be popular.
It is popular.
Whatever the answer, let us know, and we will be announcing the winner shortly. Because the thing is, it's in September. We've got a pair of tickets, so it could be for you, for a loved one, for a relative, for a friend, and we're going to give you plenty of time to sort that out. So if you are interested in that, why not answer in our patron feed? And if you aren't a patron and you're listening to this, why not be one? And this is the sort of shit you get. It's really cool. So speaking of questions and answers, let's have a look at the patron questions this week, guys.
Top work.
The first question is from Amanpathak. Now, if you did leave this comment, Amanpathak, you'll empathise with the fact that you left a huge comment, so I'm going to condense it a little bit, all right?
It's breathtaking, actually. I
know what it is to talk a lot. He wants to know our opinion about a hypothetical situation which may arise next year. Anthem, Cyberpunk 2077, The Last of Us 2, and Red Dead Redemption 2 all set to, this is hypothetical, remember, are set to release, and they release in the same period, let's say late 2018. What will happen? Who will win?
Chaos on the streets.
Yeah.
Blood.
What was his options? Anthem.
So imagine a future where Anthem, Cyberpunk, The Last of Us 2, and Red Dead Redemption 2 all come out in like the same month. What the fuck will happen?
Well, we'll have a great month, hopefully, if everything goes to plan and these are all great games.
Yeah, who will win?
We will all be happy.
Yeah. For me, it's got to be between The Last of Us 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, if I had to pick which one I think will be the game of the year based on these 4 choices, it is so tough. But I think... Yeah, I don't even know. I can't. It's like neck and neck. It would be like 96% for Last of Us 2 and Red Dead Redemption. But I don't even know if I can. But put on the spot now, the Last of Redemption 2, I think.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Seriously,
the one with the least microtransactions. Just go.
Yeah.
No, microtransactions aren't. I'm talking about pure
story.
Which one's going to be the best game? Yeah,
this is what I mean. Well, it's going to be.
If you want an open world game or a narrative driven on rails experience, it's I don't know, horses for courses. I'm going to go for The Last of Us 2. I've done it.
Whoa, he's out there. He's out in the open. I would be inclined to agree, sir. I think The Last of Us 2 is going to be good. They're all going to be good, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Some more top analysis.
Well,
pretty good.
well, this year so far, we've had like a shitload of games, haven't we, that have come out that have all been like,
surprises.
Some people have been saying game of the decade. Some people have been saying game of all time with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
You can never tell, can you? Like last year, I never would have thought Resident Evil 7 would be as good as it was, and I'm still holding it up there as a potential Game of the Year contender. That's genuine. So, and I never would have saw that coming last year. So who knows?
Or Horizon, Persona 5. Who
Horizon,
saw them coming?
exactly. Horizon. I can be less interested in Horizon after the initial the initial reveal. I was like, that's pretty interesting. Couldn't give a shit until I saw the reviews, and then I was like, wow, this is special. So for me, it's wait for the reviews, and hopefully there'll be more than just that. Hopefully there'll be more going on next year than 4 big stinking AAA games. There'll be some more.
Yeah, there definitely will be, and the way it is these days, there's so many just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Kickstarter and early access, they all generate a lot of cool games.
Next
year, like Battlegrounds, for example.
Yeah. What are you guys looking forward to next year? I'm asking my own question.
Kingdom Come Deliverance, if that's going to come out next year.
Yeah.
Are you a patron?
Are you a patron?
No. Taking out my wages.
Kingdom Come Deliverance, Mountain Blade, Mountain Blade 2 if it comes out next year.
Yeah,
I mean, the good picks for early next year, I think.
We got
Days Gone as well, maybe early next year.
Far Cry 5 is big for a lot of people. God of War. 2017 has been amazing. 2018 could be even better. So that's who wins. Us.
Yes,
we win, right? So yeah, cheers for your question. And that's the thing. It's amazing that we live in a world where there's so many great games. Yeah, great question, dude. Next is D. Jep, and he says, continuing on the topic of difficulty progression, as Liam discussed Wipeout last podcast. I love that you did that. Have you ever played a game where the difficulty level suddenly went from 0 to 100 real quick, or vice versa? Like a game where it starts off dead hard and then you just roll it.
Jack 2.
Which way?
Oh god.
0 to 100 or 100 to 0?
It's all over the place. 0 to 100.
Yeah,
right, but
it's like 100 all the time. That game.
I feel like it was
Jack 2 full throttle.
You know, older games are platformers and stuff. They can be surprisingly challenging. Like you remember, it's like a colourful game. It's a bit that kind of darker, Jack, I guess. But it's, you play that, and then some bits in it are like, what? Who do you think I am? Like who? I'm not a robot. But then you kind of do it eventually, and you realise it wasn't that bad. But there are like spikes in it for sure. Yeah. And that's one of the ones that I really sticks with me for having ridiculous difficulty spikes in it.
That's a good answer.
Cheers.
Yeah. For me, instantly, it's the original PS2 release of Devil May Cry 3. Because for some reason, Capcom in their infinite wisdom decided American and European people, the normal mode, too easy for them. So they made hard normal in the European and American versions.
I remember watching my friend play this game.
Yeah, and as soon as you start the game, as soon as you finish that first cutscene, the game brutalizes you.
Yeah,
it starts off in the streets and all that.
It starts off in his detective agency thing, and you get ambushed.
It's hard, that game.
And by the time you get to the final boss, you just you want to break down and just cry in the corner.
So the 0 in that game is the cutscene.
Yeah.
And the 100 is actual gameplay.
You have about 30 seconds, then it hits 100 and never stops. In fact, it goes to 150 by the end of the game. Yeah. It was insanely hard.
Yeah. Okay, the one game that brick-walled me was XCOM 2. I've said it a few times that, just starting to get into it, working my way through the tutorial, and then they brought the fucking, what's that ability that I've got where they take over your mind, like the
there's a few that they can just control your soul.
And as soon as I was encountered that ability, it was almost like a brick wall to me. It was like, well, fuck. As soon as my early squad starts dying, I'm like, I want these guys to last until the end of the game, and then they're killing me off early.
That's your mistake.
I thought, fuck,
that's where you went wrong. That's where you went wrong.
I don't want my people to die, mate.
That's why I don't want people to die. That's where you went wrong.
I know, but that's the magic of the game, though, because some of them survive, and then when they die, you're like, oh my god, I need a cup of tea.
It's not. I'm like, every life matters for me. Like, leave no one behind.
Me too. And you can keep.
I can't deal with it early in the game. It's supposed to be harder later on. And if it's this hard early on, I was like, fuck it.
There's a mode called Iron Man mode, which is the best way to play it, and you can't reload saves. So when they die, they die. You've got to move on. You've got to be like, fuck, and you can fail missions, but the game continues. And it is amazing. It is hard though.
I think I'll do, because you asked vice versa. I'll do a vice versa answer. I played this game Condemned 2. I think it was the second one, and it's like a horror game and stuff. And it starts off pretty atmospheric and shit. Then, I don't know, halfway through the game, you get fucking powers that you can just Kamehameha people through a room. You can, and then all of a sudden the game is not scary at all. It's people coming at you and you just go, and they go flying. You're like Darth Vader or something, fucking force push people. And I was like, what the fuck? It's honestly, they might as well have brought out fucking people wearing fucking glow sticks and waving them at you. That's how scary it was. It went from tense, serious game to, right, all right.
Yeah.
So I can't think of an example where a game got so hard out of nowhere.
I think
Divinity. I was going to say.
I was going to say that.
It starts hard. It starts off easy. Then it has a massive spike.
But it depends where you go. It depends where.
Well, that's Yeah, that's when you learn and you figure out which way to go, and then about halfway through that game you sail through it.
Yeah,
but it just all of a sudden hits you in the face at one point. It's
and
like,
I think that's probably where I might have stopped. I played it for about 35 hours. And I just I hit a stone wall. I completely was like and it felt like a grind rather than it was too hard. I felt like I would have to try to do this thing too many times before I would succeed, and I just couldn't do it.
It's all about finding the right place on that game. It's weird.
It's a wonderful game. It's
if you leave out the wrong gate, you're against enemies at twice your level.
Exactly.
So you've got to figure it out, but normally through dying a lot.
An honourable mention to Neo. I love that game, but fuck Neo.
It's just 100% all the way through. I got pretty far. Liam finished it.
I did.
And then you guys got Cave Bitch, let's just call her.
Yeah.
You know, like that weird vampire one. She's like the fourth boss or something.
It's an awesome game, but fuck it.
They ramp that shit. That's hard.
Fuck that game.
I need to say also The Witcher 3, because sometimes you're riding a horse, you're level 14, you're getting into the game. It's very nice, atmospheric. You're feeling pretty good. You're like, I got some nice gear here. I got some Witcher gear. I'm ready to fight some monsters. And you'll ride through a town, and there's like level 29 ghouls in there. And you're like a little bitch, like and you got to like ride away because there's just a group of really high levels.
The game's tough,
It's fun. It's just out of nowhere, and but it's because they're on the road. It's fine if they're out in the wilderness and you have to seek them out and they're high level monsters. I get that. That's part of like RPG world design, I guess. But that when they're on the route to somewhere, and you're just riding a horse from A to B, and you get accosted by monsters that are twice your level.
And you haven't got Quen on.
You haven't got Quen. You haven't even got Quen.
You haven't even got Quen on.
Because you didn't listen to your boy Jake.
That's a great answer. Right, okay, cool. Richard Cropper, just Cropper, isn't it? Richard says, what up RPG Squad? Gaz and Mike. What video games stand out for you in terms of emotional impact? Maybe a game which kept you thinking days after playing it. A clever use of mechanics or great storytelling. For me, for Cropper, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, BioShock Infinite, Oxenfree 3, and The Witcher 3 stand out. Appreciate your thoughts.
We've had a very similar question to this in the past.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we answered it very well though. We answered it unrelated.
Let's change it right now.
Let's change it right now.
I've got
Let's fix that.
Okay. I'm going to say Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII on the PSP. That game had such an emotional...
I know!
You stole my answer.
So, if you're not familiar, like, Crisis Core is a prequel to Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
And you play as Zack Fair, who's like Cloud's best friend, pretty much. And at the end of the game, it's like, because in Final Fantasy VII, he dies.
Yeah.
But the game makes you play through, like, his death. And it's like, it was hundreds and thousands of soldiers.
Yeah.
You have to keep fighting them. And there's a mechanic in the game. It's like a roulette, not like a slot wheel. And it gives you bonuses if you get like certain matches on it. And it triggers randomly. But the game starts like breaking it. And it's like all the characters, you start getting flashbacks to like your best moments with them as you're dying. Like your character's getting killed.
This is such a good choice. This is obscure as fuck.
It's like it starts like cracking and everything. And the final one is it ends on Aerith from Final Fantasy VII, who was like Zack's one love in life.
Yeah.
And it just dwells on a picture.
Because Cloud stole Zack's memories, right? If people aren't well versed.
And it's just, it had me thinking for days.
That is a really...
It was like, it hit me hard, the end of that game.
That's an obscure choice. Mm-hmm. That is an obscure choice.
That's my choice. Play it if you haven't. Just play it.
I haven't.
Awesome.
I love Final Fantasy VII, so I should. What about you guys? Beat that.
Yeah, okay. Honourable mention to Her Story. I think that's a gripping game, and it gets you invested in a way that other games don't. Honourable mention to The Last of Us for that first scene. It's just a bit of a roller coaster. But I'm going to go for The Walking Dead. Telltale because of this, it is a roller coaster the whole time, and there's so many moments where you're like, oh shit, no, and the whole roller coaster of emotions. That's thinking about it, that is my number one choice for emotional.
That is a sad game.
Yeah,
I still don't want to talk about it now.
No, let's not talk about the ending because people have just got to play it. But that is the one that just sticks with me emotionally.
Yeah, God, yeah.
I've got 4 answers. Okay, I'm going to give it to you quickly. right? Mass Effect 3 for all the wrong reasons at the end.
Yep.
Mass Effect 2 for the hero mission where you're like, oh, it's all coming together, and you know that through talking on the internet and stuff that any of your squad could die at any moment, and then you pull through it and they all survive. You feel like a fucking genius, a tactical genius. And everyone's alive, and you're happy about it, and everything's happening in the story. So Mass Effect 2, for good reasons. Believe it or not, Final Fantasy 15, I hated those douchebags for most of the game. And right at the end, honest to God, and then right at the end, I was like, oh my God, these guys are great.
It makes you look through the picture book.
It makes you look through the picture book. It's fantastic, the ending of that game. For cynical bastards like me who are playing it all the way through, yeah, there's just a bit where my ice cold heart just melted, right? And it's that right in the run up to the finale, they like, they save you. They're like, we'll stay here. You go. Don't worry about us. Don't worry. And you're like, fuck. There's loads of monsters. Okay, I'll go. So you don't want to leave them. It's amazing. Very well done. But my main answer is Kingdoms. What was it? Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. Okay, which is a very good action RPG, kind of like Fable, with an amazing combat system. And it's very heavily inspired by MMOs and stuff. It came out like 2000, I don't know, it was a while ago, 2009 or something like that. I don't know, that kind of time period, 360 era, I guess. It is a very, very good action RPG, Fable-style game, like I said. However, it bankrupted the studio. It ruined the baseball player who moved into games development and financially destroyed him. And every time I even think about that game, I think that is a great game. I'm so sad that a game that good ended up destroying a guy financially. So that's my answer.
That's
good answer.
They're all great answers across the board. Walking Dead stands out for me, but I can't do that. And most games I play that I like have got this element of emotional impact. I find that one of the best things about the medium. I love the ending of What Remains of Edith Finch. That's why it's my game. Jokes aside, the reason it is my favourite game this year is because it has a profound effect on me at the end of it.
Jokes aside, shut up, Mike.
Yeah. As in, before I roll again, lads, yeah. But I really enjoyed it. I really liked it has an impact on me because I can't shut the fuck up about it. Have a look at it if you haven't already. It's a fantastic game. Telltale do it well as well. The Walking Dead season 1 and 2. I was like thinking about it for a long time afterwards. Divinity Original Sin for me as well because I spent so much time with it and it was a shame to leave the world behind. It ends in a typical sort of fantasy way, but the way I kind of like for days after I was like, oh, I miss that game already. So that's my choice. What Remains of Edith Finch, Divinity Original Sin, and I double down on Gaz's The Walking Dead choice because it's fantastic. So yeah, nice one for the question. All right, next up, Taylor Gavello asks, or Gaveo, what are your thoughts on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds for the console coming out soon? I think it'll be a giant flop, just a feeling that the port will be shit.
No, I don't think that at all. I think that consoles are screaming out for this type of game in a way that they haven't got this type of game. And I think a lot of people will adopt it. The gameplay itself and the multiplayer aspect of it is so strong that it can't fail but be a success.
It'll do really well for that word of mouth thing, and the fact that if you haven't got a PC, everyone's talking about Battlegrounds. What is it?
Yeah.
You're interested, so the curiosity will be there for millions of people already. I don't know. I think PC gamers are kind of different to console gamers. The way you play and enjoy games, Gaz, is kind of. I feel like it's kind of different to the way I do because I play a lot of console games.
Right.
And if something is a great experience, like Battlegrounds is, you love that game. And I think that's a PC gamer kind of thing, right? I think for me, I probably wouldn't have looked at Battlegrounds twice if you hadn't been talking about it so much. And then I really enjoy it now. Whether or not all console gamers will kind of see what is great about it, whether they'll see the pure mechanics of your heart pounding when you're waiting for someone to come through a door and that kind of those kind of moments. I don't know if it'll have that kind of mass appeal or not. But
are you saying because console gamers are more casual, or they play games more casually? I'm not being offensive.
It's not even that. I think it's there's a different the reason Assassin's Creed is so popular. It blows my mind because it's such a mundane game to me, but it's obviously doing something. It's giving someone the experience of being an assassin. Whereas what experience is Battlegrounds giving you? It's not like a really visceral, great-looking game that is full of cinematics and makes you feel like a survival badass. It just... You jump out of an aeroplane and it's like really clunky looking, and you just got, you know. But the core of it is fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's what I think the difference is.
I think because of the competitive element of it, you just want to get a better placing each time. You want to be first, and even something as simple as killing one person, it can be so satisfying in that game. It's like your first kill. Your first kill is like, fuck yes, and like your adrenaline's going. Just getting one kill in any other game isn't as important as it is in Battlegrounds.
That's what I'm saying. There's kind of a purity to that I don't know if that'll travel across to a huge console audience. There'll definitely be people who will play it and enjoy it, but
I'm definitely I'm very confident that it will.
People love third-person shooters on consoles, and people love that Call of Duty players are mostly console, right? It's like drop in, drop out. And to be honest, for me, it's like my PC's in my attic. If I want to jump on a game of Battlegrounds, I walk 2 floors upstairs, turn my computer on, go downstairs, make a cup of tea, come back up there. If I could just go on my couch, hold down my PlayStation controller button, I'd be in a game in like 35 seconds.
A lot of it's going to be the execution, isn't it? Like, when are they going to bring it over?
Controllers is quite simplistic. They lend themselves quite well to a controller. They wouldn't be as good as mouse and keyboards, clearly, but it would lend itself well. It's got that instant, where it's got that tense, slow burn enjoyment. It's also got that instant gratification of, I'm in a game, I'll jump out, I'm in a city, I've punched someone to death, I've got a frying pan. I think console players love it, but this is the beauty of it. Whether you like that or the other, or I think it appeals to everybody. It's got it's a golden goose at the moment.
It's a low barrier to entry too. You don't have to worry about people being levels above you, because there's no level system at all. So you're jumping in on the same level as everybody else.
It's knowledge, isn't it? That is another genius thing about the game. The only way you can progress is by literally knowing more about the game and getting better at it. That's another fantastic thing about the game. I just think it's going to come down to execution. Like, if they just wait until the PC version is finished and then release a nice polished port for the console.
They probably should.
Which they definitely should do. And give us a PC version first, because we've given you our money on an early access. So you kind of owe that to your early adopters, I guess. But I think it's going to come down to that.
If you guys buy it on console, even though you own the PC version,
maybe.
I would.
For what you just said.
Yeah. What about you?
Don't know. I'm not sure.
You on the fence?
Yeah, I'm really not sure. It depends. Like, I suppose who else got it, I guess.
That's exactly it. I like what Jake was saying about just like sitting on the sofa and firing something up. That appeals to me as well, very much so. So maybe I would.
Yeah. Same really. Right. Okay. So. Yeah, cheers for your question, and if you can't tell, we're quite passionate about Battlegrounds at the moment. It's a big one for us. Scott McGregor asks, hi guys, amazing channel, loved your Horizon Zero Dawn Twitch stream. Oh yeah, cheers. We're on Twitch, by the way, guys, 3 times a week. Why don't you watch us? It's really fucking good.
Pretty Good Gaming, twitch.com/Pretty Good Gaming YT. YT stands for YouTube, so check us out.
Thanks, Garrett. So yeah, that's it. One question I have, and this may have been asked already. What are your preferences for Y-axis or axes?
It's a good question.
I've always been an inverted player and never understood how you could play it with normal. It all stems from the console you start on, likely, but I never played flight simulators. The consensus seems to be towards normal though. # forever inverted.
We had this conversation during the stream, and this is probably where he got it from, because I was the one inverting my y-axis. Because for me, you push up and your head will look down.
Yeah, if you push someone's head up.
And that's how it works for me. So it always has worked for me. I've never been able to play it any otherwise. And I think that's what he's kind of saying, is that he can't see how it can be push up to look up. And for me, that is the same. But I know that you guys are all like regular.
Well,
for me,
it was really jarring for me when that's what it was like when you sit there and you're like you play it and it's not like immediately like, this is weird. You're just kind of, hang on a minute.
Yeah, you
something's
almost
wrong about
don't
this.
notice it first.
Yeah.
And it's a couple of minutes you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
Because your brain's so quick to adapt to it, but then you're thinking, what is it that's weird? Oh, wait, I'm pressing up and I'm going down.
So then I just...
See, it is natural to play that way. Is that what you're saying?
I have to change it.
That's the thing. It's not as unnatural as you were saying about looking up. For me, it's like, if a game... I think I played a couple of games, like shooters, not... Because, flight sims and all that. A lot of the time it's inverted.
Yeah.
I played a couple of games where it's been forced inversion. Is that the right word? And it's not. I can get used to it after like 3 or 4 minutes, don't you? And then it's just like you don't even realise it. But it must be so unnatural if you're used to that to do the opposite.
Yeah, for all you've ever done. It's
I
been
mean,
for years and years.
All I'm going to say is it's called inverted or normal. That's what it says in all the options menus.
But this is just terminology based on the
accuracy,
the current gaming industry.
Truth.
Current gaming industry. But back in the day,
you not like left-handed people.
Back in the day, it was the opposite for me. Like that's why I've adopted it and I use it.
Old school gamers with no joysticks. No,
I'm not going to call in my old school card here. But Mike, I was playing games before you were in diapers, son. So get it straight. Let's inverted for life.
I didn't realise that there was people, the inverted, the guys eloquently called them, which is still making me laugh now.
That's the point, though. They have to have a title. They have to be known as the inverted because they are different and some would say wrong.
I've never had a conversation with anybody that's played inverted naturally. So it's for me, it's interesting because it's like
it's fascinating, isn't it? Because it's so unusual.
Well, I know.
This is kind of it's a really interesting conversation for me because it kind of blows my mind that people are able to play in the way that you do, and that it's normal and accepted, and then it's weird for you that I'm playing the way I do, and because for me I'd never considered it before. I thought that everybody did it inverted. I honestly thought that.
It's all older gamers,
and that's what's so weird. It's like a mind-opening moment.
But you
have
to point out that you do mostly play PC though, don't you? So that has to be that's got to be some correlation there, surely. There's got to be some kind of thing. I guess it's just like left-handed.
No, there's got to be more inverted out there. Well, if you're an inverted,
the example I can think of, there's something that's kind of the same. Is it is on Windows versus Mac. The way that you scroll down a web page, for instance. You scroll up to go up on Windows, but you scroll up to move the page down on Mac because of the way that it's like a parchment mode, isn't it? Where if you put your finger on the Mac, if you put your finger on the parchment and scroll it up, the page goes down. Do you think about a
page on tape?
But on Windows it's different.
On Windows you're controlling the window. On the Mac you're controlling the page, like you said. So that's the difference.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
That's what I mean. It's an interesting
inverted controls or not. Who knew?
Yeah, I know.
Who knew it was such a divide and that nobody. And then
as soon as I saw this question, I said, "This is a good question because I've never spoke about it before."
Yeah, exactly.
I'd never been in the minority before and not realised it.
No.
I am a minority, but I've got to acknowledge
inverted pride, man. Don't worry about it. Right, this is the final question for this week, and it's a bit of a non-gaming related one, and it's from Gareth McClavey, the man who brought you the favourite sandwich question. Brings you this: favourite sweets / candy.
Difficult second album. He's done all right.
He's done all right though, hasn't he?
Yeah. This is good.
Favourite sweets. I'll say wine gums. And this is my top catering tip. Put them in a fridge. Buy wine gums from a German bargain supermarket like Aldi or Lidl. Take it to your fridge and put them in there.
What does that say about your favourite choice of sweets when you have to manipulate the temperature of them to get the best out of them?
No. They are very good wine gums.
Right.
They are very good wine gums. But they are, if you want to maximise your enjoyment.
Enhancement.
Yeah, this is connoisseurship.
I'm not saying they're not good. Don't get me wrong.
It's like,
I'm sure they're very good wine gums.
Breathing through your nose when you're drinking wine or something. It's like some kind of little secret that makes it way better.
Yeah, it's like fucking cuisine, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Haute cuisine.
Okay, so that's mine.
For me, it's Nestle Munchies. So if you don't know what a munchie is, it's like a little biscuit centre covered in caramel, which is then covered in chocolate, and they're just so damn good.
Kind of like a Rolo, but with
a little bit
more
of
going on.
It's a bit softer
and more
than
angular,
Rolo.
like an American SNES. Yeah.
The caramel's not as chewy as a Rolo. It's like very soft caramel.
Yeah.
But I can inhale a bag of them in a second. Well, they're amazing.
It's interesting this because I knew that was Liam's and I guessed Mike's as well. But Gareth, you elude me.
Okay.
I want to know.
I think I know, Gareth.
This is by far and away my number one choice for any sort of sweets ever. And it is chocolate-covered toffee, but it has to be hard toffee, none of that soft, like shitty toffee. Thornton's toffee chocks are hands down the best, and I cannot resist them. If I have them, then they will be demolished. I cannot resist them. If they were there, I would just eat them.
See how specific that is, though. That's great.
So
that's
interesting.
Good.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like I say, so interesting. I'm not being sarcastic at all. I like food, and I revel knowing that other people like food too. So I knew that. In fact, I prompted you. Perhaps Munchies is your favourite.
Yeah, you did.
Mike, I even took his wine gum tip on and enjoyed them in the fridge.
Thank you very much.
Thornton's the tough toffee. I know what you're on about. And I've
Toffee,
for what.
But the thing is that
choice.
I've got quite a good self-control generally in life. That is my kryptonite. I literally cannot. I'm salivating even talking about them. I swear to God, I cannot resist them. It is my kryptonite.
That's really interesting.
Well, I have terrible self-control, so I better not go anywhere near them.
Yeah, I also do, especially when it comes to food, and I've got the waistline to prove it. But I'll tell you this, sweets or anything like that, I'm not really into them. I like ice cream a lot.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately...
Is this like when you said I don't like comedy, but you do?
It's very niche. It's very niche. No, but I don't like the majority of it, so I just tell people no. Well, sweets, yeah, well, they're nice, but if I could pick, like, a snack to have, I like... honey roasted peanuts.
Yeah.
I like ice cream a lot though, and popcorn. I love popcorn, but do they count as sweets?
Yeah, I guess so.
Would you say popcorn? Like, if you go out.
What? But if there was like a confectionery aisle, like a sweet aisle, what would you?
I'm not really. I like cinder toffee. I like different types of toffee and fudge and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I like that sort of thing. More of a savoury guy, to be honest.
Okay.
But so that about wraps it up for the questions. Thanks a lot to everybody that got involved. And remember, if you are a patron, get the questions in. And whilst you're there, and if you're from the UK, why not have a look at our EGX Super Pass ticket giveaway? Because we'd like to see you guys entering. We'd like to see more of you guys getting involved. And it's funny to read your answers. So, yeah, it's the end of the podcast. I'd like to say a big thanks to the Pretty Good Gaming Gang Squad Thought Collective, whatever we decided on earlier. My name is Jake Lukowski, and with me today, and as usual, Liam McKelvey, Michael Williams, and Gareth Evans. We'll see you again on the next one, guys. Bye.
Michael.